Awesome. Welcome to our team meeting on January 27th of 21. I trust that your day is going well. We got a great day packed for you as well. We have the fabulous Kimbra and we have Sharon as well joining us. Sharon had some technology issues jumping on. And then we're going to jump into some awards. So it'll be a fun packed day. I'm glad you're joining us. And then we'll have some great conversation as well. But here's how I'd like to start it off. If you haven't noticed, and I haven't said it before, we are in a market where we're lacking inventory. We need more inventory. And so if you haven't said that, if you haven't heard it and you're not talking to your database about finding sellers, we're at an opportunity. Now, Andy says I repeat myself often, so I tell some of the same stories, but they just work, right? And so I vision us in the car business, and we're going to say we're going to have a record year in sales, and yet we drive onto the lot and there's no cars on the lot, and the ones that are there already have a sold sign sticking on it, and the one that's available nobody wants because it's a hunk of junk. That's kind of is a picture of we have in our environment right now. And the interesting thing is we always say real estate is a local market. This is going across the country in every market. And so the encouragement to you is we do know listings are going to come available. Wouldn't it be great if it was a Keller Williams Southwest sign in front of it? And don't let it go to somebody else. All right. I'm going to keep talking about, by the way, and I might sound like a broken record, but that's a theme we're going to continue to hear. But we have two of the greatest ladies in our office.
Yeah.
One is who've been with us for a while, but they are an integral part. They've served on the ALC. Sharon is currently serving on it. Kimbra says she needs a break. She should be coming off her break next year, moving forward. But she's served in the marketing committee as well. So two great ladies. But what I'd like to do to start out, for anybody who doesn't know you, give us a little glimpse of who you are and a little bit of your story.
Who do you want? Go first.
Well, since Kimbra's still on mute, I guess it's you. All right, go ahead, Sharon.
Hi. Okay, I am Sharon Parker with the Sharon Parker Group. And pretty much what a lot of people really don't know about me is that I have been in business 20 years, but I am a single mom. I have been doing this for 20 years. I raised my son, which is now 20 years old. So I started in business when he was 6 months. And actually, Dion was the start of me getting a lot of deals because I took him everywhere I went. So I did not let being a single mom stop me for continue to work my business.
Great.
And so I've been consistent at doing my business for 20 years and really trying to stay on top and staying in the groove of keeping everything working with everything. So I appreciate y'all listening to me today, and
yeah. All right, awesome.
A little bit more.
Okay, great. Kimbra.
Howdy. This would be complete of 15 years going on 16 with Keller Williams and in real estate. I started with you guys after interviewing a lot of brokers, and I never left. I think it's an awesome place to build a business. I was also a single mother of 3, widowed at 36, and got to a point where my expenses and support from the Social Security weren't covering the bills. And I was working 3 part-time jobs and realizing I was killing myself. And I decided to step into real estate and kept one that was nights and weekends bartending so that I could do real estate all day, every day. And with the coaching, and Sharon Parker actually is one of the reasons I'm still here, kicked me in the rear end and made me work harder and taught me, don't take no for an answer, just keep going. So yeah. I've enjoyed a really good career here.
Well, one of the reasons I had you guys on, one is you're friends, right? And I'm like, man, I told
Not
Andy, I said,
anymore.
we should
We're
just
not
let them,
friends anymore.
yeah, we'll just let them banter back and forth for real conversations about what it is. But here's what I want you to hear, the ones joining in today. Both of you did not have it easy. Both
No.
of you didn't have a choice to provide and take care of your family. And so part of this is a real conversation on building a business that will sustain over time, right? Kimber, you consistently, with you and your team, you've been in the top 5 at our office, right? Sharon, as she's working on the team, she likes to do everything herself. I'm kidding. That's the joke that we have, has consistently been a top 2015 agent in our office as well. Year after year after year, you serve and you give back. So if we were just to have a real conversation and just say, and you're out there giving advice, how do you do it year after year? We'll start with Kimbra. Go first.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I dial into the why right now at this stage in my life. I've hit the big 6-0 last year and really felt like I needed to start making that exit plan because I don't want to be working 40 to 60-hour weeks the rest of my days. So I fit that. What lifestyle do I want? And right now mine is building what do you call it? Income producing property inventory that I know that will sustain me in the lifestyle I choose to have in my retirement. And so everything I could do to get enough to take care of the team, pay my taxes, and then pretty much everything else goes into investment properties or just fun for me.
Yeah.
That's my big why, because otherwise I could just watch Netflix all day.
So go back to 15 years ago and you tied into your big why. What did it look like back then?
That got to pay the bills. I did not
Yeah.
want to move into an apartment. I was going to lose my house and had no hope of my children being able to go to college. And even worse, the third option was move in with my parents. I am way too independent to be having parents hover over me. So the fear of any of that happening just put the fire in my belly to do whatever it took. I did a lot of unsavory things a lot of people wouldn't want to do or don't come into the business thinking they have to do that sort of thing. That is the door knocking, the constant open houses, chasing, sleuthing and finding someone that came in the open house, didn't give you a name, but you got just enough out of a conversation with them to figure out what neighborhood they're in, what street they were on, and I could go to the tax rolls, find them, and then send them a thank you note anyway and try to find a way to connect with them. So.
Okay. Sharon, how would you answer that question?
Pretty much with me, Chad, like I was married and I went through a divorce, and by that time Dion was 9. So at that point, and even during my marriage, I had to understand that I needed to pay the bills. And the only way that I looked at paying the bills when I started in business was it didn't matter if they wanted to buy a $50,000 home or a $2 million home. I needed to pay the bills. So I started to focus in the first time home buyers. So first time home buyers was my niche back then. I wanted to let them have the home ownership that I was given at the age 23 when I first bought my house. And it was a group of gentlemen that were buying properties and they introduced me to home ownership. And so by doing that, I had to say, well, the only way I can make sure that I keep money on the table and then I can make sure that I am continue to pay the bills is to work with any and everybody. I never put a stipulation on who I was going to do because I always looked at a home is wherever someone makes their home. If they want to live in that 50,000, then I'm going to treat them the same way as that 2 million. And so customer service always played a big part in my business. There's probably a lot of things that people don't know. I also was 16 years with Red Lobster. I was a manager for them, a troubleshooter manager, the first African-American Black woman in the state of Texas. So I always had that get up and go and solve problems and solutions and really make things go. So I just incorporated that into my business. And I said to myself that if I can give them 80-hour work week, why can't I give it to myself? So by doing so, I took on all that, being a single mom, and I never let anything bother me. No matter where I went, I always gave out my card. I don't care if I was at the grocery store, the laundromat, it didn't matter where I was, church, friends, whatever. Everybody knew me as that they're going to get my card and I'm going to take care of them. And the biggest thing is that everybody knew that I was sincere and that I enjoyed what I did and that they could trust me. So like I always tell everyone in this business, even the agents I run across now, that's a trust factor that you got to have in you. And you got to build that confidence in you so that people can feel confident and want to use you. And so that's something that I've always done. And it's really helped my business a lot. And it's helped me grow and be consistent at what I'm doing.
Okay, awesome. Good stuff. All right, let's talk about last year. Last year in 2020 was an interesting year, but as consistent you've been over the years, you guys still produced, right? And
Yeah.
still made your income. To talk to us about last year, any pivots that you had to make, and just give us a little bit of recap.
Well, like Kimber said, we had to get off of Netflix last year.
Yeah.
Netflix almost took us in. And because it was just like I grew up in the North. I'm originally from Illinois. And I used to love when the snow was so tall that it covered the doors of the house. So we knew we were not going to school.
Mhm.
So when they shut us down with COVID, that put me in the mindset, I get to watch TV.
Snow day. Yeah.
Right. It was a snow day. So then I said, oh my God. So I'm sitting there watching Netflix and I'll never forget, actually, you called me. And I was like, oh my God, Chad's on the phone. And here I am watching Netflix. So that was like a wake up call to me. This ain't no snow day. This is a get up and go and hustle.
Yeah.
And so that really dawned to me at that point that if I don't get up off of this couch and go hustle, then I'm going to be shut down. I'm going to be in foreclosure. So so that really took me to another level. So then it realized, 2020 was not easy. It was a hustle. And there's a thing I saw the other day on LinkedIn that said, if 2020 didn't bring the hustle out of you, you don't have the hustle in you.
Mm.
Because it was a hustle. And if you hustled in 2020, then you're going to be okay in this business.
Yeah.
Because it changed a lot of ways, the way we did business. I've learned how to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do. And that's dealing with the video, Zooming people. And, there's things that I wasn't comfortable with that I've learned now how to do because of 2020.
Right. Good stuff. Kimbra, how would you answer that? What pivots did you make?
I really didn't want to work from home, but we were forced to. And so I actually look at this as a blessing. It was showed to me that, you can still get listing appointments virtually. I devised a plan. I still felt like I needed to have some boots on the ground and run through the house. Literally, I said, open all the doors, turn all the lights on. I'll be in your house 5 minutes. I'll leave you a packet and I'll come back and talk to you on Zoom and we can have all the time you need. And that seemed to satisfy people for a good long while until we got balanced.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to lie. I got knocked on my keister for about 6 weeks. I was down, depressed. I had my kids living here that had just been on a worldwide tour and hadn't quite figured out where they were going to move to. And of course, there were no houses and they couldn't buy. So we were here. But then eventually when people still reach out to you, or we started calling to find out how people were doing, you know, there were evidences of people that still needed to make a change.
Yeah.
I think that the other thing that felt like a rug got pulled out is all the people that were in the works, documents already signed, ready to list. And I had a fallout of about 30% of the homes that were ready to go that decided not to sell. And that was a big punch in the gut. But,
Mhm.
you know, so I'd say about three months, I was not engaged in the business like I should have been.
But you made a pivot. You both knew that, all right, we got to get up. We got to go call and check on the people that we have, right? And you found like, oh, there is people that want to make a move
Right.
with the interest rates. All right, let's talk about our current market and the lack of inventory and the battle that we're in right now with the current market. What advice would you get it? And what are you guys specifically working on to go out and getting listings, one, and then what are you doing with your pool of buyers right now? What are you telling them? We'll go back to Kimbra.
Okay. Because
If I figured it out yet, I'm not going to pretend I know everything. Thank goodness I'm back in my list of people who held their hand up last year and digging deep, and like 4 of them we were signing listing agreements this week. They want out fast. You know, seeds planted last year are coming through.
Okay.
Open houses are getting us some contacts as well, but I have not gotten on the phone like I should. Got busy and haven't touched base with a lot of people. That is the plan. We're dividing it up amongst the team so everybody has their group of people to call to check on them and find out if they have anybody that they know that needs to sell. The buyers, we've had to really ramp up our game and help my buyers agents show the buyers the big picture of, yeah, there's one house and 15 people want it. How are we going to win it? And keep showing them how going over list price is not that bad. People get all hung up on, I'm not paying more than it's listed for. Show them what happened for people who said that back in June or May last year and what that house is worth today. How much rent did they pay while they were waiting to find when they could get it list price? And do the math. You lost, because that house is now worth 10,000 more and you could have gotten it for only 5,000 more than it was listed for. We're in that education mode. We've got to help them see it from 10,000 feet, big picture, and get over this. I'm not gonna. Or tell them goodbye, move on.
Okay. Sharon.
well, as for the listings, they are coming. I am working with pretty much about 5 or 6 people, helping them understand that COVID is not stopping the market. That's one of the biggest things. Because like Kimber said, when COVID first started, I did lose a good amount of my people too. I probably lost about 3 or 4 listings, and I lost 6 buyers because of and that's what threw me to the Netflix, because I was like, what's going on? And then I had a wake-up call. Again, right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting on the phone. I'm calling my database. I'm calling the neighborhood. I'm educating people of what's going on in the market, and that it is a seller's market, and that it is a great time to put their home on the market, and they can get more for their home during this market. Now, as for the buyers, I got so many buyers coming at me probably 2 or 3 times a week. No, the inventory is not there. Again, I just keep them embraced with the fact is that rather we find something that's in inventory or we find something that they can go and build a home. But I just help walk them through the big picture of what we can do and what can be next, and then find out eventually where they looking to go. Can they build? And if their lease is up during this time, do they have someone else they can go and live with? Or can they extend their lease? And there's so many different things. Or if they do find a house and their lease isn't up to then, what can we buy out their lease? So there's so many different things that we have to be proactive in this business to make sure that rather they're looking to sell the house and have that conversation with them and help them see the big picture of everything, or rather they're looking to buy a home and have a big conversation with them about that. So with that being said, it's the best thing to do is get in your database and just really have conversations and talk to people. Don't rush people off the phone. Have that conversation. Help them see everything. Because just like what Kimber and I were saying, the way we were in that, oh my God, what's going on? And the people we lost, you've got a lot of people out there too that are still stuck in the mud right now. And they just need someone to reach out to them and give them that insurance.
Yeah. Right. They need a professional. You got to
Right.
tell them the truth, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And you got to have the conversation. If you don't start the conversation, you don't even know where they are.
Right.
Okay, let's pivot a little bit and let's talk about investing. You both are believers in investing, and you guys find properties consistently over the years. But first, start with the mindset of being an investor and on building passive income. Why is it important, and what do you think about? How do you think about it is really what I'm after.
Well,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Kim. No, you go ahead.
They're sisters.
Go
You
ahead,
see how they start in the same facial expression?
So pretty early on, I was able to take advantage of a class taught by an old agent in our office, Mike Harness, and he would do it as a gift to the market center called Buckets of Money, Uncle Mike's Buckets of Money plan. And so he was pretty quick to tell you, that you're in this business. This is where you can know what you're buying, where others might not, and gave us some really good ideas of how to do that. The reason I did it was having inherited my husband's 401k and then watch it fritter away in the stock crash of 99 and then 2001. I was like, I do not believe in the stock market anymore. Because, and I argue, even my dad still doesn't think the home investing is a good plan. We butt heads. But I'm like, look, my house will never go to zero. I lost a bunch in Enron. Guess what? Even a house that burns to the ground, you got land that's worth something. And if you're smart, you have it insured and you will be built back. So that made me feel so much more confident in investing in real estate instead of the stock market. That I'm a little unbalanced, but I've got 80% of my nest egg is in real estate and 20% is in stock market. How did I do it? I found the way to get home equity loan against my equity in my house. I turned around and bought a property with that. Now, I had an unusual situation because my house was paid off, but you can still use that and supplement with money you're making and saving. Went and bought a cash deal, got it rented. Then they don't count that debt against you on that home equity loan because it's rented. They don't give you they don't hit you 100%. And then I borrowed home equity against that house and bought an even smaller one. So it was mama shark, baby shark situation. And I always knew that I had enough money in savings to cover those loans. And so that started the whole thing back in 2009.
Sharon, how would you add to that? Tell us the way that we think about investing and how you think is really where I'm after.
Well, I mean, investing came about through me as the beginning when I first bought my home. And then once I got married and I had Dion, then it became that we moved. So now I use that home as investment property. I didn't inherit anything or had the fortune blessing as Kimber did. So I had to, through the Dave Ramsey plan, it's what helped started me. And I was invested through that. And also Kimber helped me too, because I was going after a lot of the, those people that charge you high interest to borrow money and this and that.
Hard money.
And so, hard money. So Kimber helped me out with that. So it helped get me going. But my biggest thing is that what really dawned on me into investing is that I realized that if anything like the COVID that happened 2020, okay, when COVID, it's like a lot of people, if you would have had investment property, it wasn't going to hurt me like everyone else, because I knew that I can go sell one of my properties because the market was high, but COVID wasn't making money for people. So if everyone had a home, another home size, the one they're living in, that they can cash in or cash out of it, that's what always dawned on me, is that I have another stream of income being a single mom that can help me out. And the more and more I buy properties, which I closed on another one last week, it's giving me that more insurance that I'm okay. And being a single mom, that I don't have to worry about where I'm going to get the money at to take care of myself and my child. And so with that being said, it gave me that more and more want to know. And I do now. I don't use my own money to buy property. I use out of the one property and I cash out there to buy another property and to fix it up.
So what you're saying is you closed on a property. There are opportunities out there today.
Oh gosh, yes. And I always keep a handful in because my properties that I have bought in this business, my properties never were on the market.
Right.
I did what Gary Keller told me. Why are you walking in thinking about your commission? Because the commission can't do nothing for me when I can buy that house and got that much equity in it. So when every property I have, it came from people that called me to list their property and I bought the home.
Yeah. So when Sharon, what she's saying, when Sharon walks into a home, she's got her investor hat on. Do I want to buy this property?
Right.
And she's going to make a decision and present something to the owner that could be a possible solution. So I take it when Keller Offer came out, you're like, why would anybody need Keller Offer? I am Sharon Offer and Kimbra
Yes.
Offer. And if you don't want to buy it, you'll present it to somebody else. I think, Sharon, you told me last week that a great property that Kimbra owns, you brought it to her.
Right. Yes. And
Yes.
I keep a group of investors in my pocket, whether it's agents or just investors. So when I don't want the property, I roll it over to someone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Sharon was is still a great option for me, because unfortunately the areas that I specialize in, the price ranges aren't the type of house I would buy for a rental property, because they wouldn't bring me my ROI I'm looking for. So it's rare that I get one in my market. It's usually someone's parents' house somewhere else that I wind up with.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Final takeaways from you guys. What would you want everyone to hear out of you? Either it goes along with perseverance, your why, what drove you, a real estate business, or even on the investor piece. Pick one of those topics, and what do you want to make sure everybody hears?
I'm big on the investing thing. Don't be afraid of it. Be creative. I'm happy to answer, have a quick call and give you some specifics about ideas of how to do that. I'm happy to report my 33-year-old daughter that has just bought their first house is already looking for her second property, and their plan was to buy one because you get the lowest down payment, lowest interest rate, live in it, look for the next one, and then that becomes the rental property, and they move to the other one, and they're already pre-approved for the second purchase. There's so many ways to do it. Don't be afraid of it.
Yeah. Right. And real estate's not going away, right? Of all the uncertainty in the world, we do know real estate. Could we have a slight adjustment? Sure. The Houston market never falls out, by the way, because we have the huge increase. But we do know if we're going to hang on to this property for 5 to 10 years, it's going to be a solid investment. Right. There's no greater return. Okay, Sharon, pick either perseverance, personal, business, investment. What would you want everybody to walk away with?
I'm the same with Kimber, and it could be because of our age now, and it's about the investment. And the way I want everyone to understand, you're in this business, and like I'm 20 years, Kimber's 15 years. You don't want to be in this business and not know that you own properties. Okay, because now you would feel like that you wasted your time. So my biggest thing, if you're gonna really go strong at this and work hard and make the money, invest in properties. Have your role of investment property, sit down, do your portfolio and see what you want to do, because this business is very rewarding. And the more you work hard at it, the more you get rewarded. And we are so blessed to be able to be rewarded with the number of homes that we have today that we have invested in. And we will continue to do that until we both decide when we want to retire. And if there's anything that anyone would like to know how I did it, because I didn't have the money, I had to make all this work for me. So I had to do it the hard way. And that's fine, because it helped me now be able to do more. And because I was in the first time home buyer market, buying homes when I first started, it's helping me in my business, because I'm getting people to call me with those homes that are good for rental properties.
That's good stuff. Here's what I want you to do. This book right here is a fantastic book. And I want one section I hope you hear out of Kimbra and Sharon. And it says, not everyone can do it, yet you can. And here's 2 truths you have to recognize. Number 1 is building financial wealth through real estate is possible. And building financial wealth through real estate is possible for you. And I think what Sharon and Kimbra have told you, it wasn't easy. They didn't come all of a sudden and they had this pile of cash and they hit the mega millions and they went out and invested in real estate. They figured out how to make it work and get creative. And there's a way to do that as long as you embrace the fact that building wealth through real estate is possible, and it's possible for everyone.
Yes.
Okay, here I want to show of hands. Andy was talking about this. She goes, this book, if she was to create a book study, mean a weekly accountability session and going and reading it and going over it, would we have enough participation? If you'd like to participate in that, and I tell Andy, hey, I got you a class, just raise your, do your digital hand, right? Or say in there, just say, yes, I'm up for it. We'll work through that book. Your digital hand. You know how to hit your digital hand?
Where is that?
I did it.
Raised hand, and you just hit it and we can see that you're there. All right, so we'll make sure coming up in February, we'll get that on the calendar. We have enough people to do it. I hope you hear as a theme for me is this is about building wealth, right? We're in the greatest industry. We have insider. Sometimes Sharon was telling me about the story of the house she bought, and I went, you're cheating. You're cheating. That's insider information. The property that she got and she worked, and it's not, right? It's all totally legal, but she was on an inside track. She knew the formula and she grabbed it, and I went, that's a stupid return that you're getting.
You know, there's also things that people don't understand, that when you buy certain homes, you can also, there's so much else that involved in buying a home that we don't realize that we already have it in our back pocket, Chad. And that book club would be awesome. I'm going to be in it because you never know too much.
No, yeah. You're on the journey, right? And that's what we ask people, raise your hand. You don't have to be a seasoned investor. You're just like, this is the year that I figure out, and make no mistake about it, right? This is not political. The gap between wealthy and the haves and have-nots is only going to get greater in our country. And we want to bring as much people along, and it's almost the way you think about it in the decision. I heard this one time and it resonated. If we took all the wealth of the United States and divided it equally amongst every citizen, studies show in 5 years, it would be right back to the same place. And you go, no, that's not true. But it is. It's the way that we think about it. What's Dave Ramsey? It's a way to think about it. You listen to Gary Keller, all he talks about is the way that he thinks. He just thinks. It didn't come out of the sky. He looked for opportunities. And if you don't have the money, and you can bring somebody else along and get a portion of it.
Right.
There's all sorts of solutions to this.
Right.
And I like the buckets. And do you circle buckets of income and go, what circle are you missing today?
Right.
So awesome. I haven't
And
got it
this
figured
is
out
the
either.
year
And I'm
for
trying to
it.
catch up with Kimber and Sharon. And yet I'm telling you, I'm on the journey though. That's all I can tell you. Awesome. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
joining in. We're going to jump to the awards. Are they getting any? So hang around. You don't need to go away. Hopefully you guys close some deals in December and we can recognize you. Because that'll defeat
Okay.
the whole, no, you certainly have enough validity. You guys have been doing it consistently. Oh, here's a question, Sharon, to you before
Yes.
Chris is getting ready. Why family reunion?
Well, my thing for family reunion, I feel that everyone should go there because you have to continue to invest in you. And family reunion helps you continue to invest in you and keep the learning, the knowledge, and everything you need. I enjoy it because going through family reunion, you meet people from all over the country. And when I say all over the country, I mean all over the country with Keller Williams, because I run across people in China and Australia. And the biggest thing about it that I have learned that has helped me in the future is that some of the things they do, I take and I run with it here myself, because they may be doing it there and we may have not thought about it here. So the same way I learn from them, they learn from me, and I meet some of the coolest people in real estate business, and I continue to invest in me, and I continue to bring more back for my clients that will help me generate more income.
Yeah. And okay, this year it's digitally, right? And here's what I want to know. When people say, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of Zoom. Here's my answer for it is get over it. So are our kids. So is our whole education system, right? I'd rather be in the training room giving high fives, interview you guys in person. It's just not possible right now, right? With everything that's going on. And yet this kind of meeting still gives us enough content for us to get there. And so we'll be back in the training room at some point, right? I don't know what that is. And yet today is we have a vehicle to drive you forward. And so family reunion is a point. I don't know how many years you guys combined. I went to Mega Agent Camp and family reunion. It's on your growth. Yes, we go there and have a good time. I could tell you a great story about Sharon Parker offline and a rickshaw, but I won't do that to her now. Yeah. And yet you guys are always there pouring in and learning, right? Because that piece never stops.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to do family reunion, it is virtually. We got a great bundle deal for you to do. If you go with you and 4 other people and you go together, we'll get it for you $80, right? I mean, we're doing everything we can to get you there. $80. If you're in bold, awesome. You got your bold and your family reunion. So Sharon, yours is already taken care of. So because you're in bold again. Okay. All right, Krista. I could go on forever with these two, but we got to jump into our awards. You guys just stay right there and you can clap.
Well,
Or maybe
before we
we're
jump
applauding
into
for you.
awards, I wanted to jump into numbers. Is that okay?
Sure.
Awesome. I wanted to look at the end of the year for Keller Williams International, our South Texas region, and then as our market center, kind of where did we end up? Because even though here we are at the end of January, we have not taken a look at these numbers yet, and I think they're important to share. So this is Keller Williams International numbers from December. Their closed units, closed volume, listings taken, just go down the list. Every single category is up month over month. So that's December compared to last December. Now,
okay, hold on. So let me share that with you. So the trend that we're telling you, we're selling more listings than ever before. Remember with Keller Williams, when we talk about a 17% increase with our number, that's huge because the billions of dollars of real estate that we sell, and yet we're taking on less and we're selling more than ever before. Our car lot is empty because we're selling them so fast. And just so you know, no one sells as much real estate as Keller Williams. It's not even close anymore. We used to compete. Now the gap is huge. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at that, the listings taken, it shows that they're up for December, but year to date, they're down by 4.9%. Listings taken down by 1.7%. Listing taken volume. Go show that to daddy. All right. And welcome my 2-year-old. So then we have our listings sold and listings sold volume are up. So listings taken are down year to date. Listings sold are up. That's what Chad's saying. The parking lot is empty. The cars are going faster than we're getting them in. So except they're houses, not cars. Closed GCI, look at that, 46%. That's agent commission up in the month of December for all of Keller Williams. And like Chad said, this is a big company. That's a huge number. Normally, right, when you're looking at a big company's numbers, you get excited at maybe a 5% increase or a 6% increase because the numbers are so big. To increase percentage wise is a lot. So to have 46%, that's really amazing. I want to highlight that. Year to date up 15.2%. And that means it made up for the shutdowns that affected so much of the company back in March and April. So it made up for that plus some, right? All right, so let's move on to our South Texas region, right? South Texas region is Austin to San Antonio and south. So that's our region that we're in. Closed units and volume, it's a similar story, right? They're up by huge numbers. And we have some large offices in the South Texas region. We do a lot of business. So there was a $1 billion number thrown out there at our last meeting. I believe, what was that closed volume, Chad? 1 billion. That's huge. And so then you look at our listings taken. For the month, they were up, but for the year, they're down. Very similar to national numbers. And the listings sold up huge numbers, 31%, 49%. A year to date, 5.7%, 14.5%. And you look at the contracts written, right? So as we're looking at these numbers, and then GCI also up very much like Keller Williams nationwide, we're looking at the story of what's happened, what is happening, and what is going to happen. So you're looking at your closed units and closed volume. That's your measure. It's like your rear view mirror. You're looking behind you. You look at your listings taken and contracts written. That's kind of looking out ahead of you, right? And then you see what you are selling, have sold, right? So we get some good indicators of what's going to happen in the next couple of months, right? Anything else you want to say about these regional numbers, Chad, before I move
No,
to
same
ours?
story. Keep
Okay.
going.
So let's look at our numbers, right? Oops, let's go back one. Sorry. South Texas region. Oh, here, I wanted to share this first. So this is the actual numbers. I wanted to stop here. Closed units for our South Texas region was 7,400 units. When I say large numbers, yeah, 2.5, here you go, 2.5.
It's billion.
I have to count the commas here because that number's so big. Sales volume per agent, 257,000. Listings taken volume, that's $939 million. That's almost $1 billion just in listings taken volume. And that number, that looks like that's for December here. Yeah, listings sold volume, contracts written volume. These are just really, really big numbers. Highest December ever in a lot of these categories. Second highest December ever for listings taken. So even though it's down for the year, right, it's still record-breaking numbers. Here we go, our office, right? Month over month, closed units up by 20.4%, year to date, 8.1%. Volume up 36.3% and 15.8% for December and year to date. Here you go, listings taken. We are down in listings taken. Our listings are probably the lowest they've ever, well, maybe not ever, but the lowest they've been in a very long time, right? Why is that? Listings are more difficult to get, to find, to take. And so we just have an opportunity here with our listings. Year to date, we're down. Listings taken volume also follows the units. But look at the gap, it's actually not as big, right? And the reason is the listings that we're taking are higher volume than what they've been in the past, right? Because that gap of listings taken unit is down more than the volume. So the ones that we are taking are higher priced. Listings sold and listings sold volume are way up. So there's that shrinking inventory. Even though we're not taking as many, we're selling all the ones that we've had in inventory. Contracts written unit, volume in units, right? Up 38.4% for December, 15% year to date, 54.5% for the volume. 22.1% year to date. And then GCI, a number that I get very excited about for our office in the month of December, was up 28.1% for our agents, and year to date 13.4%. And normally our office has a very strong December. We see a big push at the end of the year, just historically, right? So to see an increase on top of that, that's very exciting. Here's our actual numbers, right? For the month of December, we closed 230 units, 78.8 million in volume. If you divided that out per agent, it'd be 145,000, just taking the volume divided by total agents. Listings taken, 79. That's our opportunity right there. That was new listings taken in December. But even with that, the volume was 26.8 million. That's still a huge number. Listings sold, 97, $30.2 million. Contracts written, 227. It was 74.2 million. Look at our agent count. We're up to 540 agents. It's the highest number we've ever been in agents. We are growing and sharing the dream, right? Average sales price was up to 342,000 in the month of December, and profit share was at $37,000. That's up 32% over last December. So Chad, do you want to say anything about these numbers?
No, that's good review. People ask, where would I get them? We will put that on the kwsw25.com site. And so if you want to pull this in and put it in your presentation, feel free to use any of these forms. And then also, if you follow Krista on KW Connect, we'll be able to provide you with some of these information as well.
And
All
I
right.
actually created one more thing for the agents,
Okay.
just a one-page flyer. I'm just really excited to share this, right? This is a 2020 year-end review for the office. So if you just want something with some stats to throw in your listing presentation, here you go. It just hits the big metrics for the office. And those are impressive numbers to share. We do the most business in Fort Bend. So why not share that? It's the evidence that you are the local expert of choice, right?
We have a competitor that tries to use new construction, that they have an account and inflate those numbers. These are the real numbers, by the way. All right, keep going.
All right, so let me share a new screen here because that is all. You ready to jump into awards, Chad?
Yeah,
All right, so let's go to
Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Kimber's about ready to fall asleep on us, so yeah, you got to keep moving.
Sorry, I got to
I'm
get
just
it
messing with her.
here. There we go.
Use those numbers, right? Tell our story, tell your stories. Unless your numbers are better, then use your numbers.
Right. All right, so you see everything here, Chad?
Yep, so you're ready to go.
Here we go. Okay, celebrating our December top listing agents for individuals. We got first place with Abish with 6 units, Sahar with 4, and then tie for third with Robbie Yansky and Liz Guevara Backman with 3 units. Way to go to our top
Awesome.
listing units. Here's our top listing teams. Flora's team, Home Coach, Fort Bend Home Pros, that's Ross and Carolyn, Paul Wang and his wife, the Burgess Group, Marta Mohan team. We got our top listing groups here, the Audra O'Neill team, and there's Kimbra.
All right, Kimbra, yay.
And the Investor Group in third. Way to go, guys. And then we have top listing volume, right? We have Justin Crosby. We couldn't even get a picture from Justin. He listed 4.9 million. Guess it's time to go ahead and get that headshot, huh, Justin? And then we got second place with Abish at 1.7 million. Sarah Hanif with just over $1 million. Sahar Khatib with 869,000, and Pam Shockey in 5th place with 783. And then of course, you know, when you have the units, the volume follows. Marta Mohan team got first place with our teams, followed by the Flores team, Real Estate Ross team, Burgess Group, and Paul Wang. Way to go, guys.
Good job.
For our groups, we have the Audra O'Neill team with 2.5 million in listed volume. The Investor Group, that's David and Diana Barnett with over $1 million, followed by the Kimbra V team, the Butch Watterson team, and the Kathy Stubbs team. So way to go to our top listing.
Come on, Kimber, let's be it first. Let's go.
And here we go. Here's Sharon Parker up on our closed unit slide. So for individuals, first place, we had Jamie Castens closing 6 units in the month of December. And then we had a five-way tie for second place with 5 closed units. We got Justin Duffield, Sapana, Sharon Parker, Pam Shockey, and Emily Shepard. Way to go to our top.
That's awesome. 5 deals.
And then here's our top closed teams: the Diaz team with 8 units, the Burgess group with 6, followed by the Flores team, the Marta Mohan team, home coach group, that's CW and Ann Ross, and real estate Ross team.
Good work.
Top closed groups. Here we go. We got the BNP team with, drum roll please, a whopping 20 units closed in the month of December. It's all those new builds, right? Rushing to get those in. Followed by the SIA group with 17 closed units.
Awesome.
And then the Audra O'Neill team with 13 closed units. The Kathy Stubbs team with 7, and the investor group. So way to go to our top closed groups. That's a lot of work to close that many units. So way to go. Our individuals for adjusted closed volume is Jamie Castens in first place with 2.6 million, Pam Shockey in second with 2.1 million, Sapana with 1.7 million, Akil with 1.5 million. Oops, I got the places mixed up here. And then Sahar at 1.1 million. So great job to our top closed volume individuals. Adjusted closed volume being based on a 3% commission. So our top closed teams, we have the Burgess group with 1.4 million, followed by the Flores team at 1.2, the Marta Mohan team in third place, followed by home coach group and the Diaz team.
Good job.
Here we go, our top closed teams for adjusted closed volume, the BNP team with 5.8 million in adjusted closed volume, followed not too far behind by the Audra O'Neill team with 5.1 million, and then Kathy Stubbs teams in third place with 3.3 million, the SIA group with 2.4 million, and Mona Knows Homes team at 1.1 million. So congratulations to our top closed groups. And then here's another one of my favorite slides I love to share. This is our Triple Crown Award winners.
Biggest that I've ever seen it.
What's that? The largest you've ever seen it? Yeah, this is a total of 15 winners of this award, right? To qualify, you have to have you have to be ranked as an individual, so not teams and groups, and you have to close 3 or more sales, not leases, in the same month. So we had 15 agents last month that closed 3 or more sales in the month of December. So yeah, that's very exciting. It's fun to share. And then, you know, somebody called us out last month that we had not been recognizing our Kelliversary. So we went back a couple of months. So we made sure we covered everybody. These are our Kelliversaries in November that we just wanted to recognize very quickly, right?
Sharon, 19. Right.
Whoop, whoop. Celebrating 1 year with us. We have Jamila Abasali, Tausif Ali, Alex Arenas, Alicia and Enrique Arroyos, Armando Hernandez Ramirez, and then Sharon's going to challenge my number here. I'll go back on that one in a minute. Jamonica Jackson, Jocelyn Lewis, Constina McIntyre, Gabriel Melgar, Natalie Melgar, Bria Nelms, she's our weekend receptionist, if you know Bria, Maya Peterson and Jennifer Wood, all celebrating 1 year with Keller Williams in November, so way to go. 2 years is Ann and CW Ross and Andy Jong. 4 years is Nahal Alshia. 5 years is Win Win and Zoe Reyes. 6 years is Shanetta Walls. 7 years is Sheikh Ahmed, Carolyn McEathern and Brandy Zemos. 9 years is Ross McEathern and Winona Smith. 10 years is Darnell Cleary, Melissa Salye and Eden T. 16 years is Nazneen Denani. 17 years, our very own Norman Liu. Whoop, whoop. 19 years, which Sharon says I'm wrong, it's 20, is Sharon Parker. And
It doesn't matter after you hit that. I mean,
we lost count 5 years ago. We got Donna Rice at 24 years for the month of November. So just thank you guys so much for staying in it with us. We love all of you and just are so excited to be in business with you every year. I also want to recognize we got December and January Kelliversaries because we're catching up here. In December, we had celebrating 1 year was Layla Azargun, Cynthia Contreras, Anthony Johnson, David Lynn, Rubina Rizvi, and Hadi Zaidi. 2 years, we got Ibtisam Adabli, Mike Day, John Ritchie, Kenneth Parks goes by Dwayne, Laura Parks, Sherwin Joes, and Tracy Benton. And some of these, I think there was a intermission period where they were here, gone, and back. So this is the time that they've been back. For 3 years, we got Salima Damani and Sandra Swee. 4 years, we have Justin Crosby. Come on, Justin, it's been 4 years. We need your picture, guy. 6 years, we got Antoinette Williams. And 9 years, we got Linda Day, Joanna Grenader, and Nick Helms. So way to go to all of our Decembers. And then January, whew, bear with me. Here we go. 1 year, we got Kasim, Shabnam, Devinder, Patrick, Joshua, Janet, Jim, Deborah, Tanisha, Mojkin, Lisa, Sherry, Christopher, and Shaolin. So apologize for not reading all the last names there, but we got 1 year celebrating with Keller Williams. 2 years, we got Erica Almagur, Namesh Dave, Elizabeth Hurd, Tracy Weiss, and Asia Raymond. 3 years, we got Joseph Palatka. 4 years, Michelle Hughes and Mike O'Neill, which Mike has been with us, but that's just since he's been licensed here. 5 years, we got Giselle Espana, Helen Burgess, and Alan Lee. 6 years, we got Brenda Brady, Stevie DeCal, and Payman Talabi. 7 years, we got Rebecca Chow, Lyle Mugi, Liz Guevara-Backman, Karen Herbert, Dimitri Shataman, Delia Teal. 8 years, we have Jose Garcia. 9 years, we have Sarah Hanif. She was recognized on one of our award slides. 10 years, we have Rhonda Blount, Michael Cato, Ron Haynes, Pam Lewis, Alau Oyewuwu, Gary Sternagel, Tenzesto Ware-Smith, Heidi Williams, and Alice Zhang. 11 years, we have Cindy Grillo and Marta Mohan. 19 years, we have Kautan and Maytan. And 24 years, we have Seema Dalvandi. So that is all of our Kellerversaries for the last 3 months. We are caught up. We, so appreciate everybody that does business with us because we know you have a choice and we love every single person that is with us. And I say that wholeheartedly. I hope all of y'all feel that love. So moving on from our Kellerversaries, I want to go into our first listing and first closing awards. Want to celebrate Morris Jelani for his first listed home last month in December. Way to go, Morris.
Yeah.
Jimena de la Olivia, congratulations on your first listing with KW. And then with our first closings, and some of these people you may have recognized from their first listings on the prior month, right? You list them, you sell them. That's the idea. Bong Yu Choi with his first closing. We have Daniel Ailes, one of my personal favorites. No favoritism here, right? Except for one. Daniel Ailes, his first closing last month. Way to go. We have Daphne Winters. Way to go on your first closing in December. We also have Aram Hussein. Way to go. We have Jessica Herrera, also with her first closing. Way to go. And Kasim Abus Bey. I'm hoping I say that correctly, Abus Bey. We also have Rima Malhotra. Way to go, Rima. And Thoi Wen. Way to go on your first closing with KW. And very quickly, if you would allow me, I also want to recognize our cappers. We had a couple of cappers last month. Dan Goon capped in the month of December. So did Denise
Good
McClarty.
job, Denise.
Justin Duffield, Nazneen Danani, Sapna Patel, Jessica Tierman, Mark and Helen Burgess, Joyce Castillo, and Pam Shockey. And that is all of our cappers
Awesome.
and awards at lightning speed. So way to
All
go.
right, just so you know, you will find those. We will post those on our Facebook page to recognize you. Just so you know, cappers, we do not publicize that publicly. We do it in our closed group. It's your choice to do it. We've been asked over the years not to do that publicly because then they think they can get some of your commission. All right, thank you for hanging on. Don't leave us just yet. Great. I hope you heard from that. A lot of energy, a lot of success. Things are going well. I know we ran through that quickly, and yet we're proud to be in business with you. We had record years. It matters who you do business with, and we appreciate it when you're intelligent enough to do it with us. Put it. All right. Who wants to jump ahead and start first? Dale, let's go to you. What do you got for us?
All right, good morning, everyone. Just wanted to talk about being a brand new year. Tax returns for self-employed people is going to be a big subject. If you're working with buyers and we know that they're self-employed, they may want to push on their accountants to get those tax returns prepared. We're looking to see that 2020 was not a huge loss for some of these people based on an average of the last couple of years. So it may make sense for them to get that information over, get that started, know where they stand. We don't have to file a tax return, obviously, until April 15th. So it may make sense that we as a lender are only going to request, if they're self-employed, that they provide us an unaudited P&L. Keyword unaudited. That means that they would provide us something, and as long as it is consistent with the 2019 taxes and the income is somewhat consistent, then we can probably move forward for them. So that being said, self-employed buyers are always kind of a red flag. We want to make sure that that income is there to be able to use. One other thing is mortgage interest rates look like they're coming back down. We're not certain what direction they're going to go. I would tell your buyers, rates are still all-time low. Take advantage of them. Let's get into this house. And lastly, just something about some of the stimulus checks. Little confusion. People are thinking that if they received a stimulus check, that when they file their 2020 tax return, that they are going to reduce their refunds that they would receive on their tax return by the amounts that they received for stimulus checks. That is inaccurate. It was basically a gift, if you will, from the government. It's not taxable income. It is not reportable, and we will not have our refunds impacted by the amount of money that we received as stimulus checks, and nor will we in the future if those checks continue. So thank you. Please use us. We're here for you, and I'd love to help you. Thank you.
All right, awesome, good stuff. More information, you can track down Dale. Happy to provide you with it. That was a wealth. All right, celebrity title. You're back on mute.
Better?
All right, yep.
Gotta love laptops. I love my desktop much better. Thank you. So kind of piggybacking on Dale, I just wanted to go through a couple of things. Number one, we all know the changes are coming with our new contract. My changes, where Dale is talking about your clients and taxes, I'm going to talk more about you all. If you have any questions on how your title company should be handling your earnest money and your option period money after this new transition to the new contract, please reach out to us. Come downstairs and ask whether or not you understand the process and how we're going to use those funds, because there is a process in which funds get credited in which way, how we're going to receive them. You should be receiving your receipts exactly the same way you were receiving your receipts before when you had an earnest money deposit, which is we will receipt the contract directly. So, and we will now be receiving for two different items, earnest money and option period money. So if you have any questions, whether you do business with Celebrity Title or not, please let us be the experts and help you walk through that situation so you're able to service your clients properly and they're putting the funds out properly so that they can secure their option periods as well as the actual contract. So in addition to that, congratulations to all the people who made your time and your anniversaries and your capping. I do want to present this. For those of you, I have a few of these. I don't have a whole bunch, but I have enough that if you guys come downstairs, this is our 2021 calendar. And this is what we offer as, whether I don't want to say whether you do business with us or not, but whether you do business with us or not, I'm going to supply this for you because it's actually made for realtors. If you're a new realtor and you don't know that 1 acre is 43,560 square feet, this will help you. There's information on here on tracking your mileage, which will go back to what Dale was talking about, which is your taxes. So as your realtor, if you're a realtor, I hope that you're tracking your mileage, and this will help you with that because there's a mileage log in here. So if anybody wants one of these, please come downstairs. If we don't have any because we run out, I'll do my very best to get you one. But outside of that, I'm going to, sorry, just added some information too on the classes that we're giving. And that's it. I'm giving it up now.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right, Reliant.
Hello, everybody. I just closed the sale for Geyser. So we close the electricity and home security. So the total referral money for her is $325. Okay. So she's a new agent.
Awesome.
Never met her face to face. She got to know me from this meeting. So she called me and introduced herself. And happened her client is moving into my neighborhood. So it's one street from me. So I even find a contractor for her to pay her house, but she's still going to be out of town. After they finish the work, she's going to ask me to take some picture of the house and make sure they do a good job or something like that. I'm willing to help people, help agents. I mean, if their client live close by to me.
Well, that's a great story. So if you need anything with electricity, home warranty, or anywhere else as a concierge service, go to Yuli, and you get paid on it. Can mortgage and can mortgage and title pay money? Oh, but we can with electricity. So go get some extra money and some spending cash.
Yeah, plus she might have a chance to win the contest for number one for this month. The first place is $100, second place is $50. So yeah,
Awesome.
it's very easy. All you need to do is just give me the contact information. But it's better to edify me some, because like I find out some agent, I close them 100%. Some agent, the closing rate is low, because you kind of need to say some good thing about me for me to easy
Well,
to
and the good
close
thing
the
to say
client.
is she will follow up and she'll deliver on it. Just connect your people and give an opportunity for a quote. If they want to go shop all their electricity and find something better, great. But you're just going to save them time and yet be competitive. So, all right, I use
you so
my
much.
properties through you with electricity, so it's a great way to do it. All right, we ran a little bit over time. Thank you guys so much for joining. Krista, great job on your pronunciation and names. You do that fantastically, by the way. And she might have said your name wrong. Please forgive us. That was about as best.
So let me know and I won't do it again, I promise.
And congratulations on a great. Sharon and Kimber gave us great information. Be looking for the Millionaire Investor Club, book club. We'll go through that as well. And let's go out and make 21 a great year. Oh, by the way, we need more listings, right? We need listings. Go get them. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everyone.